What's up YouTube? Thanks for joining me today. I'm David, the Frugal Marathoner. Today we're going to talk about adding an extra $100 into your budget. Or taking it away. Or bringing it out. Whatever. Let's get into the video. Each month I'm going to be bringing you different ways that we can increase $100 and add it into your budget. Now these might be ways that we're going to save you or we're going to earn $100. So each month join me and let's get to it. Alright, so in this episode we're going to find $100 that you have laying around in your budget on things you don't need, and we're going to get rid of them. Alright, now I know. It's time to get our sleeves rolled up. It's time to get into this because everybody hates budgets. But I've got a real simple solution to budget. And it's really easy. You don't have to write down every dollar. You don't have to make every dollar count. You just have to find ways to cut things out, start reducing, and start putting it into your pocket. So let's get started. All right, so this simple tactic, all we're gonna do is we're gonna sit down with our monthly statements from our credit cards, from our banks, and any other bills that you have, and we're gonna see what areas we can start cutting out. I personally use mint.com, but you could also use other platforms such as EveryDollar, YouNeedABudget.com, or even just pen and paper. And when the wife and I started off, we did start with just pen and paper. We just sat down, figured out how much we were spending every month, minus how much income was coming. Wait, that's wrong. How much income was coming in, minus how much we were spending, and how much we were left over, which that part was negative number. So that's when we decided, okay, things have got to change. We've got to reverse this. All right. So you got to find the waste. What we did is we literally just sat down at the kitchen table, pen and paper, with our credit card statements, and just started going through them line by line. And what we did was we highlighted them with 3 different colors. We just highlighted them with red, green, and yellow. Every line got a highlight. Green was for absolute necessity things. We're talking like rent or mortgage, your insurance, your car payment if you have to drive to get to work, food. So main needs of your life. And then we moved over and highlighted things in yellow. Now these were things that we felt that we still needed but could maybe have some modifications. And those things were more like our food budget. So we started highlighting those, and especially like things like going out to eat, restaurants, bar, especially when we were in our 20s and you need to start cutting back on going to the bar too much. And then red came up. Red was things that we had to get rid of. And we decided such things as we didn't need to have satellite. We decided we'd start doing a lot more things like movie rentals, cheap movie rentals, or we went down to basic cable instead of satellite, things to that nature. Nowadays, I would say streaming services, cutting out, do you really need, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, and Apple TV, and a cable service? Probably not. So you can start cutting some of those back. Just recently started testing out, do I really need the super high-speed gig internet? So I pulled it back, and instead of having that level of service, I pulled back our service to see if we could still handle that. Even currently, we're always modifying and looking at our budget and see if we can find ways to trim things back. Recently, we changed our insurance company on our house. We found out that we were paying twice as much as we needed to for our insurance. Almost saved us $2,000 a year on our home insurance because we had a gold, platinum, silver, bronze, whatever level we had with Allstate, and we decided to change, and we went to another company. And it's just year after year it started creeping up and everything, and we just kind of let it happen, unfortunately. So we decided, hey, we're getting rid of Allstate, and so we moved insurance companies. So if you do this simple idea of just going through and finding some yellows or reds that you've highlighted, those are probably things that you can pull back in or modify a subscription here or there. Pull back from the premium to the basic. See if it still suits your wants and needs. And once we started doing that, it was easy to find $100 here, $200 there. And before we knew it, we started paying off high interest credit cards. We started, snowballing into the next credit card, multiple credit cards. And then we decided to make a big life move and actually moved from one state to another, moved from Colorado to Nebraska. Cost of living was way cheaper. And my new position actually came with a company car. And so we were able to sell a car that we didn't need. We didn't need 2 cars because I had a company car. So that got rid of a car payment. And then literally within a couple of years, we went from owing about $70,000, having a negative net worth of $70,000, to getting on the positive side of having a net worth. And then starting investing and things of that nature. So it snowballed, and it just started increasing and increasing. But what I want to challenge you guys is, at the end of this video, I literally want you to sit down with your credit card payments or sit down with your bank statement and go line by line, red, yellow, green, and figure out where can you cut back. And I challenge you, write down in the comments, I want to see you write, where did you find $100 out of your budget? I want you to be able to specifically say, I cut this, this, and this out. And we just decided to get rid of Hulu Plus because we didn't need to watch football anymore. We're fanatic college football fans, and this year sports, got half canceled, so there was a very short college season, and now we're just back down to Hulu and Disney and Netflix, and the kids are still just fine. They'll do just fine. They didn't need the Hulu Plus anyways. They weren't watching a lot of live TV anyway. The study shows that the average saving account balance is only $3,500. That means that 39% of Americans don't even have enough money to handle a $400 emergency. Good news is that 71% of Americans do have some type of savings account, but let's improve that. That means a third of the people out in the US only have $1,000 in their savings account. So pay off your high interest credit cards, pay off your other loans, and then get an emergency fund. Now that's a whole different video about emergency funds and everything. Maybe we'll do that later on, but we need to start getting you some savings. Now, if you're past all of that, then let's talk about investing that $100. You can start investing with less than $100. Now, if you're already doing some other retirement, you have some other ones, great, keep that going. Don't change that. And if you want to start investing outside of any type of retirement account, then I suggest Webull. Link in the description below. You can get up to 4 free stocks.